Welcome students. This is Dr. Aditya Bhattacharya, uh, your teacher for today's class. It is on blindness and public health measures for its prevention. It is one of the non-communicable disease which is prevalent in India, and there are few questions coming in your exam too. The heading of this slide, it is coming that enumerate the causes of blindness and public health measures for its prevention. There are numerous short notes also coming from this topic. I will discuss it herewith. Now, at the end of this class, we will be able to define blindness, estimate the magnitude of this public health program, enumerate different causes of blindness, enlist public health measures to prevent it, and elaborate programs related to blindness. At first, how we can define blindness? For definition of blindness, it is given by two of our leading organization like World Health Organization and NPCB. Both of them uses two parameters to define blindness. First is visual acuity and second is visual field reduction. As per WHO, blindness is defined as visual acuity of less than 3 by 60, that is inability to count fingers at a distance of 3 meters or 10 feet, or corresponding visual field loss to less than 10 degree in the better eye with the best possible correction. But as per NPCB, it is defined as visual acuity of less than 6 by 60, that is inability to count fingers at a distance of 6 meters or 20 feet with best possible spectacle correction and diminution of field vision to 20 degree or less in better eye. So here WHO is relaxing the criteria. As per WHO, it relaxes the criteria for blindness. Okay, it is more relaxing than NPCB. Now, if we categorize the visual impairment um, in category 0 or mild or no visual impairment, it is equal to or better than 6 by 18. In moderate visual impairment or category 1 visual impairment, it is called if it is worse than 6 by 18 or equal to or better than 6 by 60. Category 2 or severe visual impairment, if it is worse than 6 by 60 or equal to or better than 3 by 60. Now after 3 by 60, it comes to the domains of blindness. So category 3 or blindness is worse than 3 by 60 and equal to or better than 1 by 60. 1 by 60 means it counts finger at 1 meter. And category 4 or blindness is it is worse than 1 by 60 and equal to or better than light perception. And category 5 or most severe form of blindness, or we call it total blind, where no light perception is perceived. And category 9, this is called undetermined or unspecified. Now if we see the magnitude of the problem in world, in 2010 it was estimated that 285 million people were visually disabled and 39 million of them were blind. About 90% of them living in developing countries. About 80% of blindness were avoidable, that is either treatable or preventable. About 82% of visual impairment was seen in the age group of greater than or equal to 50 years. 19 million children were visually impaired and 12 million of them were due to refractive errors and 1.4 million were irreversibly blind. Now, if we come to India, the two line is required here. That is, estimated prevalence of blindness is 11.2 per thousand population. That means almost 1.12. That is almost 1%. That is almost 1% is the prevalence. Female has greater prevalence than men. Here, in female it is 12.2 per thousand population, and in male it is almost 10.2 per thousand population. So the prevalence of blindness in India is 1%, and childhood blindness or low vision prevalence is 0.8 per thousand child. That is almost 0.08%. Okay, that means 8 child in every 10,000 of the children. Okay. Now, is the causes of what are the causes of blindness in India? It is very evident from the picture that cataract is the most common cause, holds almost 62% of the blindness. Then refractive errors, almost 20%. Then glaucoma, that is 6%. Then posterior segment disorders, it is almost 5%. Then surgical complication, corneal blindness, posterior capsular opacification, and others like various injuries and iatrogenic causes or infective causes holds for 4%. This slide is very important because almost 3 to 4 MCQs comes from this slide only. The questions are a few very tricky. The first, the question may come like that: the most common causes of blindness in India. The answer would be cataract. If cataract is in the option, the answer would be cataract. If not, the answer would be refractive errors. Then it comes as the most common cause of preventable blindness in India, or most common preventable cause of blindness in India. So most common preventable cause of blindness in India, answer would be refractive errors. Okay, the answer would be refractive errors because it is preventable cause of blindness. Okay. Second one come the most common treatable cause of blindness in India. Then again the answer would be cataract. Okay. So avoidable cause of blindness may be preventable, that is like our primary prevention, and may be treatable, that is secondary prevention. Cataract actually a treatable cause, and refractive errors is a preventable cause. Glaucoma is also a treatable cause, but it can't be preventable. Okay. In others, there is almost 4% causes others, but this is increasing. Nowadays, in 2010, afterwards, in India, the diabetic retinopathy is growing almost in a rapid speed, and it may cross refractive errors soon. Okay. No, it is a public health problem. Why it is not needed for you? Just think this line: about 80% of blindness is avoidable, that is treatable either or preventable. There are questions. There's some question like epidemiological determinants of any disease. So you choose like some epidemiological determinants like occupation, diabetes, smoking, genetics, cultural factors, social class, other diseases, etc. Like, and there are some public health measures to prevent any diseases. How to read answer, how to write answers like these questions, that public health measures or measures to prevent that disease X. Just follow this as a guideline or as a template, you can say. So, what are the public health measures to prevent blindness? It needs a coordinated approach and actions at all level, that is at primary prevention, secondary prevention, and tertiary prevention. And these services are delivered through implementation of NPCB, that is National Program for Control of Blindness, and or as a part of health programs, other health programs, and or as a part of general healthcare services at grassroots level. The primary preventions, what are the activities we done there? Firstly, health promotion. Health promotion may be in the form of health education of the community about eye care, frequent washing of eyes, personal hygiene, sanitation, environmental pollution, nutritional, especially vitamin A rich food, availability of eye care services, and personal protection in occupational sectors. And secondly, upliftment of socio-economic status, general education, and general standards of living. Third, provision of eye care services as a part of general health services. Fourth, provision of personal protection at high risk occupations. And nowadays, for in this corona scenario, it is also we need a protection in form of goggles and eye shields. And fifth, social action to avoid eye injury. And sixth, awareness generation by observation of World Sight Day and eye donation fortnight. Especially World Sight Day, it is a second Thursday of October. It is a second Thursday of October to focus attention on blindness and visual impairment. Eye donation fortnight, it comes twice in your MCQ. It is 25th August to 8th September. Eye donation fortnight is from 25th August to 8th September. Now, the second form of primary prevention is specific protection. So, specific protection in the form of vitamin A supplementation, measles vaccination, promoting exclusive breastfeeding to prevent diarrhea and subsequent risk of malnutrition, এবং fourth, personal protection in case of occupational risk. And now comes to the secondary prevention. Secondary prevention mainly done by early diagnosis and treatment. And it is very important for the most common cause of blindness in India, that is cataract, to halt the disease beyond it crosses the level of hypermaturity. Early diagnosis started by the grassroots level workers, and from community level it is conducted by village health guide, ASHA, Anganwadi worker, ANM, etc. Maybe at the facility level by the medical officer, optometrist, or ophthalmic assistant. At school level, teachers play a crucial role. Trained PRI members, NGO volunteers may also help for early diagnosis. Diseases like cataract, conjunctivitis, xerophthalmia, trachoma, visual impairment, and eye injury can be diagnosed by the grassroots level workers. They are provided with tetracycline ointment. Tetracycline ointment is mainly for trachoma. Vitamin A capsules for the vitamin A deficiency or xerophthalmia for initiating treatment. They also provide referral services. The role of ASHA is home-based newborn care, actually, especially for the eye care. First contact to the general healthcare of our village, provide health education, early screening, treatment, and referral. Role of Anganwadi worker is take care of 0 to 6 years of child, pregnant and lactating mother, woman of reproductive age group, and 11 to 8 years girl, 18 years girl. Provide health education, screening, and referral service. Now, role of ANM, coordinate with ASHA and Anganwadi worker, provide health education, immunization, vitamin A supplementation, screening of eye diseases as a part of general healthcare treatment and referral services. Now, role of teachers. Role of teachers is very important for refractive errors. Educate students about reading in good posture, proper lighting, proper distance, and angle between eyes and books, etc. Screening for condition like refractive errors mainly, and for squint, amblyopia, trachoma, etc., and referral services. If teachers are the best person to first diagnose the refractive errors, not seeing the board clearly if they complains, And for the squint, and for the if we diagnose it too early, it can be totally preventable. Okay. Now the role of medical officers, optometrists, and ophthalmic assistants at the community level, as per RBSK guideline, as per RBSK, we go for the 4Ds, we can screen defects, disease, deficiency, and disability defects like congenital cataract, um, retinopathy of prematurity, disease like trachoma, deficiency in vitamin A deficiency, that is bitter spot, disability like visual impairment. It can be done also in Anganwadi center for 0 to 6 years age group, and in government and government aided school for 6 to 18 years. At facility level, that is like at the hospitals, for all as a part of general health care, it can be taken care of cataract, glaucoma, trachoma, refractive error, diabetic eye complication, that is diabetic retinopathy, emergency treatment of injury. For cataract, surgery is followed by IOL implantation and follow up for refraction and base correction by spectacles. It is the protocol or guideline for treatment. Here, for that, the patient is referred to hospital where operation facility is available. And for trachoma, we follow the SAFE strategy. SAFE strategy is very important for your MCQ also. SAFE is S for surgery, A for antibiotics to control infection, mainly tetracycline, F for facial cleanliness, and E for environmental improvement. And glaucoma, nowadays, glaucoma is also in a rising state in India. Early diagnosis and referral to district or apex institute if referred. Now, for the refractive error, diagnosis and prescription of suitable glass for best performance, and for diabetic eye complications, early detection of diabetes mellitus, educating patients about eye care, control of blood sugar, warning signs of eye complication, fundus examination and necessary management if required, plus minus referral. For diabetic eye complication, that is diabetic retinopathy, it needs to educate your diabetic patient that you need to examine your retina once a year, minimum once a year. And if there is a problem, there is any problem like macular degeneration or like that, then you have to follow it up more frequently, and there should be a tight control of your blood glucose. And also for injury, emergency treatment of eye injury. Now the tertiary prevention by disability limitation and rehabilitation. Disability limitation we can do by complicated or cases who require sophisticated treatment are generally referred to RIUs or different medical colleges. And eye bank plays a very crucial role for corneal blindness, for corneal implantation. Rehabilitation by to ensure visually impaired person lead a joyful and socially productive life. uh, Braille education and vocational training, we can send them for schools for the blind, and employment or self service. Now the different programs to prevent blindness. The main program you need to know is National Program for Control of Blindness, that is NPCB. It is launched in 1976. It incorporates the earlier trachoma control program, which is started in 1968. At first, it was 100% centrally sponsored program. From 2013 and 14, under the NCD Flexi Pool within the umbrella of NHM, it comes, and from then the contribution of central and state becomes 75 is to 25%. The other programs you need not to know, just hear the names. That is the World Bank Assisted Cataract Blindness Control, Danish Assistance to NPCB, Community Ophthalmological Project with DFID, that is Department of International Development UK. Vision 2020, Right to Sight. It is very, very, very important for your short note and MCQs. It is a global initiative that has been taken to reduce avoidable blindness by 2020. India also has committed to this initiative. Will come later for Vision 2020. Now, the goal of NPCB. goal is to reduce the prevalence of blindness from 1.4% to 0.3% by 2020. Initially, it was by 200 only or 2K, but now the goal is to reduce the prevalence of blindness to 0.3% by 2020. That is this year only. But at the scenario of corona, I don't know whether the World Bank or WHO is prepared enough to estimate the prevalence now, or India itself can estimate the prevalence in India. Let us see. And what are the objectives of NPCB? First objective is to reduce the backlog of blindness through identification and treatment of blind. There are many blind people in our childhood, um, especially living in the rural areas. So after initiation of NPCB, it is its objectives to identify them and make the suitable treatment for them. Second objective is eye health for all through provision of comprehensive universal eye care services and quality service delivery. Third objective to strengthen and upgrade RIOs, that is Regional Institute for Ophthalmologists, and other hospitals up to sub-district level for different ophthalmological treatments. Fourthly, to develop eye care services in every district. It was not available previously, but in the last 10 years or more, it is available in each and every district of India. Fifth objective is to develop human resources for eye care services. Sixth, to enhance community awareness for eye care. And seventh, to secure participation of voluntary organization and private practitioners in delivering eye care. So these are objectives. Now the organizational structure of NPCB from top to down. First, central, it is called National Program Management Cell under DGHS, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, New Delhi. Then in the state, it is State Ophthalmic Cell under DHS, State Blindness Control Society. And then it comes down to the district, and here it is called District Blindness Control Society. So National Program Management Cell, then State Ophthalmic Cell, then District Blindness Control Society. Okay. For service it is just upside down. That's from bottoms up. That is in the from the in the primary level. It is in the SD there is sub district hospital or CHCs, mobile ophthalmic unit, PHCs, um, grassroots level workers, and PRI, that is Panchayati Raj members, and it is referred to the secondary level in the district hospitals or different NGO eye hospitals, and from here it is referred to the tertiary level. Tertiary level is different medical colleges and RIOs, that is Regional Institute of Ophthalmology. Here we have RIO in the medical college, Calcutta Medical College. Center of Excellence in Eye Care. Center of Excellence in every medical college. There are Center of Excellence in every district. Now, what are the main activities in NPCB? Firstly, cataract surgery by IOL implantation. Secondly, school eye screening. Thirdly, eye banking. And fourth, eye care education. Cataract surgery by IOL implantation, it is rampant throughout the country. School eye screening, it is also rampant. And eye banking, it is the main focus nowadays, eye banking for corneal preservation. Steps to control cataract blindness. First, identification and registration of blinds in village blind register. Then confirmation of diagnosis by screening camp. Then transport to base hospital for surgery. Then follow-up of operated cases and best correction of vision by spectacles. So at first we identify the blind. or identify the cataract patients from the village. Then we organize a screening camp. There we confirm the diagnosis. Then we send them to the base hospital or district hospital for surgery. And then we follow up the patients by the primary grassroots level workers, and we correct the vision, best possible correction by spectacles only. At first this was not done. We are not implement No IOL implantation was done. At first we just remove the cataract. The revised strategies are based upon the finding of the survey conducted during 98, 99 and 99 2000. First, to make NPCB more comprehensive by strengthening services for other blindness also. At first we are our main focus was only to the cataract patients. Now we have to cater to other blindness like corneal blindness, refractive errors in school going children, and secondly to improve follow-up service for cataract operated persons and treating other causes of blindness like glaucoma. Then to shift from eye camp approach to a fixed facility. At first we arrange a eye camp previously. Now eye camp is not done. It is a fixed facility approach, like in a PHC or in a rural hospital. We take a day for a eye camping. And from conventional surgery to IOL implantation for better quality post-operative vision. At first, we just do for the we just operate the cataract and give them the spectacles for the vision. Now we give them IOL implantation, that we implant lens, and it will obviously it is a better quality. Quality is improved for the post-operative vision. Third, to expand the World Bank project activities like construction of IOTs, eye wards at district level, training of eye surgeons, modern cataract surgery, and supply of eye equipments like phacosurgery. Fourthly, to strengthen participation of voluntary organization in the program and to earmark geographic areas to NGOs and government hospital and improve the performance of government units. Fifthly, to enhance coverage of eye care services in tribal and underserved areas. Okay. Now this slide is very important for your short notes and MCQs. Vision 2020 or the right to sight. First, here the target diseases. MCQ comes from these target diseases. It is target diseases for India only. Okay. For India, cataract, refractive error, childhood blindness, corneal blindness, glaucoma, and diabetic retinopathy. In the Western countries and in the Nigeria or African countries, the first four are same, almost same for every country, but last two are changeable. Actually, for the Western countries, it is trachoma and river blindness or onchocerciasis. But in India, the trachoma and prevalence of trachoma and river blindness is very less. So we incorporate glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy. Okay. Now it is the service delivery pyramid for Vision 2020. That is the right to sight. At the base of the pyramid, the primary level vision centers, we call it primary level vision centers. It is situated in the PSCs or in the rural hospitals. There are almost 20,000 primary level vision centers in India. The activities are refraction and glasses prescription, primary eye care, school eye screening programs, and screening and referral services. And this refers to the secondary level. In the secondary level, this is called service centers. There are 2,000 service centers, and the activities are cataract. These service centers are mainly at the district hospital or the CSC or sub-district hospital. The activities for the service centers are cataract surgery, other common eye surgeries, facilities for refraction and referral services. Now at the tertiary level, there are two things. At first, it is the training centers, mainly other medical colleges. All medical colleges are district hospitals. The activities are tertiary eye care and training and CMEs. Tertiary eye care means all services from the service centers and primary eye vision centers and more specialized service. And center of excellence. Centers of excellence mainly RIOs. There are 20 center of excellence in India. The activities are professional leadership, strategy development and CME, laying standards for treatment, quality assurance and research. This pyramid is very important for your exam. Try to remember it as Vision 2020, and all these numbers are are the it is very easy to remember. Center of excellence, there are 20 center of excellence, there are 200 training centers, there are 2000 service centers, and there are 20,000 primary level vision centers. So it is very easy. And thank you. Be safe from the corona, and let you see in the classes before exam, I think. Thank you all.